Hi boys and girls, Miss Ornelas here. Today we're going to continue practicing with a few more word problems for elapsed time that have a beginning time and an end time, but we don't know the amount of time that passes in between. So get your paper and pencil ready. You're going to watch the first problem and then jump in with me for the second one, or jump in now if you want. The more practice you get, the better. All right, so let's take our first problem. It says Ms. Rojas placed an order for dinner through DoorDash at 5:20 p.m. Her order arrived at 7:05 p.m. How long did she have to wait for her dinner to arrive? Okay, so I know that I've got my starting time here at 5:20 p.m. and I know my ending time at 7:05 p.m. So let's write our situation equation. My start time is 5:20 p.m. I know I'm going to have to add some amount of time to get to my end time of 7:05 p.m. Okay, so let's continue using that great strategy of using our number line. Okay, I'm going to put my beginning time, 5:20, and my ending time of 7:05. Now I like to start with my hours first. So I'm going to take my 5:20, and I know if I add 1 hour, it'll be 6:20. But if I add another hour to that, it'll be 7:20, which is way too much time. So I'm going to break this up, and I'm going to take my 6:20 and get to my next friendly number because I like to do the half hours. So if I add 10 more minutes, that'll put me at 6:30. And for me, that's a friendlier number. So from 6:30, I can add another 30 minutes. And that's going to put me at 7 o'clock. And it's easy enough to see that from 7 to 7:05, our jump is only going to be 5 minutes. So if I look back at my number line, I can see that I've got my 1 hour, and then I have my 10 minutes, my 30 minutes, and my 5 minutes. So I've got my 1 hour taken care of. I'm going to take my minutes here, and I'm going to add them up, 10 and 30 and 5. And that's going to give me 45 minutes. So the amount of time that she had to wait for dinner to arrive is going to be 1 hour and 45 minutes. And as we've been learning, there's always going to be more than one way to solve a problem because as mathematicians, we all think a little bit differently. So maybe your number line is going to look a little bit different. Maybe instead of starting with the hours, you want to get to a friendlier number with your minutes. So with 5:20, maybe I want to go to 5:30, which means I'm going to have to add 10 minutes here. And then I'm more comfortable going half an hour at a time, which is just fine. Whatever works best for you. If I add 30 minutes, that's going to put me to 6 o'clock. But at this point, it's kind of easy to see that I can add 1 more hour to put me at 7 o'clock, and then my 5 more minutes to get me to 7:05. And again, we've got your 1 hour. We have 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and 5 minutes, just like we've added up here. And I know that that is going to give me a total of 45 minutes. We still end up at 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay, let's try another one. Now with this problem, it says Ryan and Justin met at the movies at 6:45 p.m. They were picked up at 8:25 p.m. How long were they at the movies? All right, so let's look at our information again. Here we still have our start time at 6:45. And we've also been given our end time at 8:25. So we can set up our situation equation that says 6:45 p.m. plus some amount of time equals our end time of 8:25 p.m. Okay, let's get our number line set up. Start time at 6:45 and our end time at 8:25. Now this time I'm looking at the 6:45 and I'm thinking, another quarter hour would give me a nice round time. So if I take my 6:45 and I add 15 minutes to that, that's going to put me at 7 o'clock. And then I can take my 7 o'clock and add another hour to that, which will put me at 8 o'clock. And then it's easy for me to see that the time between 8 o'clock and 8:25 is just going to be, that's right, 25 minutes. So then I'll take my hour that I have here, and I'm left with my two amounts of minutes, 15 minutes and 25 minutes. And if I add those up, that's going to give me 40 minutes. I'm going to put that over here. So the amount of time that the boys were at the movies comes out to 1 hour and 40 minutes. Now, just like before, let's see if we try this another way. And remember, boys and girls, the two ways that I'm showing you are not the only two ways that you have to work out this problem. Remember, you need to do what makes the most sense for you. So maybe someone would work this problem and they like to start off with the hours. And they're going to go from 6:45. They'll add a whole hour, which will put them at 7:45. Okay, and then they can look at this. They might add 10 minutes and put them at 7:55. Okay, and then they look and see, oh, you know what, I have a friendlier number that I can get to. That would be adding 5 minutes, which would put them at 8 o'clock. And then they'll add the final 25 minutes to give them 8:25. Yes, it's a lot of jumps, but for some people, maybe they need to take those extra steps for it to make sense for them. That's okay. So again, we can look at this and see we've got 1 hour. Then we add our 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and 25 minutes. And that's still going to give us our 40 minutes here. So we end up with the same amount of time, 1 hour and 40 minutes. All right, now it's your turn. Hope this helped.